Okay, so welcome back to the channel, and I'm out in on the Xmas camp. So first thing I want to say to everybody is have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I hope Santa brings you everything you want, fills your stockings, so to speak. And I'm back in a bit of private woodland here. See, it's quite wet, quite damp. Got some new kit I want to be doing a review on, so I'll continue. I'm going to get the new hot tent up, get that set up. I'm not going to bore you with me actually putting it up because I've got to attach guy lines and stuff like that, so it could take a little bit of time, but I'll get back to you in a minute when that's done. So, new tent all packed up, hasn't been out yet. It's the OneTigres. I can't remember the actual model, I'll see if I can find out for you in a minute. It does say somewhere. It's a hot tent, so I'm going to be trialling that out this weekend. It's got some good reviews, although it is only a 3000 hydrostatic head. I think that's fine for a hot tent because it allows breathability. And I've got my log file with me, so we're going to be processing a bit of wood later to get that on. So looking forward to using this. You can see it's a nice small pack size, fit onto the back of me backpack okay. And so I'll get this set up and we'll have a look around it afterwards. Got my X bed in there, got a chair, I've got the log burner at the back, as it does take a log burner. You can see just in the corner there the little shield for it. Typical stuff. Got a brand new Osprey 65 litre backpack, which was on sale Black Friday, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to treat myself to that. And it's probably one of the most comfortable backpacks I've ever got. I know a lot of people say, oh, the 3 to 4 season. I think that's mainly because of the sleeping bag compartment at the bottom will really only take a 3 to 4, well, a 3 season sleeping bag. But I've got my military Arctic sleeping bag in there, the new modular one, part of the modular system. And I put in a compression sack, and I got it in the main body, finally got the rest of my kit in, and I will go through the rest of the kit what I'll bring down here later on in the video. So doing an Xmas camp, Christmas camp. The sun next coming down, he'll be down later, but it'll be a bit dark by the time he gets in when he finishes work. So we'll probably see him tomorrow. But yeah, I'm impressed with the tent. It is a good one. I have brought my tarp with me as well because we've had such bad weather just recently, as you can see, with some of the trees down and stuff like that. Now I have checked, we've got no potential widow makers just round here. We've got this one which goes up here, but it's the other side, this other tree, so if it does fall, it shouldn't come in our direction. But yeah, the ground's very, very wet. Now with the Tigres, it is a 3000 static head, and normally I would say you really need anything 5000 and above, you know, ideally 10,000 if you're going to go out and it's going to rain. But with it being a hot tent, it needs to be able to breathe, and that's not really just for your own oxygen or whatever. And I have bought a carbon monoxide alarm with me, a little portable one, but more than anything else, the tent does need to breathe. And I'll just have a walk around and show you around it, don't trip over the guy lines. So overall it's a really good tent. I'm just angling the camera a bit better, there we go. Stretches out nice, very spacious. Just gotta be careful while I'm walking around here. Yeah, just go around the back here. As you can see, I've had to sort of bodge a pole in really, there, and it's all tied in, guy roped in, so be all right, because that other tree was a little bit far away and I couldn't get the height to get me paracord up there. There's no branches, unlike the branch there which you could see. I managed to get paracord wrapped round that and hoist it up high, but here I just had to put a bit of a, like a fulcrum in the middle, so it holds it up high. I'll just go around the back here, the back end of the tent. But yeah, so far so good, you know. Obviously we're doing a review with this this weekend, see how it all goes. But overall, nice and spacious. I'll just walk around the side here. I said it took a bit longer to put up, and my normal location is some trees which have been moved over there, but I normally go between that tree there and this one going up here, and that would have been better because I've got branches forking off, so I could have hoisted it a bit higher, but I didn't fancy moving all those. So just go inside, have a quick look. And as you can see, I mean, I'm stood up now. I'm 6'1", and I'm stood up in it. But yeah, lots of room. Obviously, Nick's staying in there with me, so he'll be down there. Got a bigger tarp footprint. Takes the bed nicely. You can see my sleeping bag. The new modular version on there. I'm sure that'll keep me warm, if not too hot. Log burner down there. Got a chair just at the back. Got vents either side. Obviously got the door open at the moment. So yeah, looking forward to trying it out, see how it goes. But yeah, it does look good. I do like tarp camping. It is classed more as a tarp, but it's in a tent shape. As you can see, you've got doors on both sides. Now I like it to be open when I'm camping, or as open as I can, but I think this just gives you that added bonus. You know, if it is cold, get log burner and it's going to get it warmed up. And I've seen reviews. I know Grizzly Gaz, I watch him on YouTube. Give him a subscribe, he's a really good lad. He does some good videos with Fendi, his dog, little French bulldog, bless her. And he's been out in the snow in it, and he said it was fine. But probably got a bit too warm, and I think that could be one of the things with it. It does get too warm, so you know, you can keep good ventilation going. It is designed for a hammock. I don't know whether you can see it on this video, but just on here you've got a space at the top here with another zip in, and then the hammock will go through there and lie inside. I'm not a big fan of hammock camping myself. I find them comfortable for a while, but I don't know, I just can't settle down in them. I don't know whether that's something to do with the ataxia a bit or whatever, but I always feel a little bit, I don't know, I always so uncomfortable, but I just can't settle properly. So tomorrow we're doing a bit of a Christmas sort of dinner. Well, say Christmas dinner. Nick was going to order some game food off one of the websites. With the one site he used no longer operating, but they're really good. They did wild boar and everything. Unfortunately they've stopped now, and he went to get another one, but I think it must be the Christmas rush coming in. They said they couldn't deliver until next week or something, so we've keyed it down and we're going to have a nice sausage casserole. Do that tomorrow. We've got a Dutch oven which Nick's bringing, and we'll get the log burner going and cook it on that, and all should be good. So what I'll do various videos as I'm going along with this. If you see anything interesting, obviously I'll get it on camera for you. But yeah, nice of you to join us for our Christmas camp. And like I said before, you know, I hope everybody has a really good Christmas. And a Happy New Year to everybody. And of course, your thoughts go out for those people which may not be having the Christmas that they normally have or look forward to. You know, it's the time for being with family, friends, loved ones, you know, with kids and everything else. And I certainly know, you know, I've had a few bad Christmases, you know, where I can't be with my kids, or, you know, due to when I was in the army, obviously away and doing stuff. And I know it can be depressing for some people. So, you know, I hope that's not you. And if it is, you know, I'm sending my blessings to you and everything. You know, hope everything just goes all right for you. Well, it is nearly Christmas. Okay, so I've got the log burner in now, and you see, might just see it from the back of here, chimney coming out the back. And I don't know whether you're going to be able to pick it up inside here, but got the logs in, got some logs in drying. I'll turn it on in a minute. Probably let it go out about 9, 10ish. So good sleeping bag still needed. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so first little review about the OneTigres. To be honest, not brilliant. If you just look at my sleeping bag here, you can see just from that how wet it is, how damp it is on the bottom, and also up towards the top, and the amount of condensation this has put out is unreal. You know, I'm gonna have to get the sleeping bag out to dry or pick my other one up. But yeah, the condensation is really bad. And considering last night, you know, to reduce condensation, we had the flaps at the end there open. It is really bad. We've wiped it down this morning to get most of it off, but it does seem that the rain itself, don't know whether you can see that on camera, and yeah, just coming up there, the rain beads on it and doesn't run off it. So not 100% happy with that. I think it'd be a great summer tent, but considering as you can see there, we've got the log fire in. You know, it's meant to be used for cold weather. The condensation is absolutely unreal, and you know, I'm very disappointed with that. Like I say, you know, the sleeping bag, you see it there, it's absolutely soaked, and the sun's just coming out, fortunately, so hopefully I can get it out to dry. If not, Nick's had to just nip out, but he did say, you know, he'd go pick the other sleeping bag up, which I might have to. In terms of the Arctic sleeping bag, the modular one, again, a little bit of a disappointment. You know, I woke up, I need to get up for a pee about half an hour after getting into bed. And to be honest, I was cold, and I felt cold in it, unlike the original Arctic sleeping bag. Which once you get in, you can feel the warmth starting to wrap around you and feel snuggly straight away. I think these, with them being a bit bigger, it's more space, and that space has to be heated up. So I ended up then as you can see, putting this thermal jacket on inside just to keep us warm. And yeah, you know, about the early hours of the morning, I got up and I wasn't feeling cold per se, but I know if I moved around in the sleep bag, turned over, you felt a cold patch then, you know, you've got to re-warm it all up. And that doesn't seem to happen with the original Arctic sleeping bag. I mean, I had it pulled right up over my head, tucked up tight, and still my head felt a bit cold. Now I know, you know, they are designed to have the other sleeping bag go inside them, which is the more of a lightweight sleeping bag, and obviously that create the warmth, warm it up a bit. But as it stands as just a bag itself, you know, you can't be carrying two sleeping bags around. One, you know, which is Arctic bag size, more cold weather size, this size, and then a sort of 3 season as well. You know, I just completely take your pack up. So I was quite disappointed in the sleeping bag. It just doesn't seem to feel like it warms you up at all. You know, and it stays cold and it feels cold. So yeah, it's all trial and error. You know, these things we have to try out. So, you know, the tent and this new sleeping bag, I wouldn't say, you know, I've done really well. Obviously tonight, if I do get this sleeping bag dried out, I'll have to go inside a small bivvy bag to keep it dry. You know, that sort of defeats the object of being in a tent if you've got to have a bivvy bag as well. And I know, you know, we always tend to use bivvy bags in case, you know, if you've got high winds or something like that and your tent might blow down or whatever. But, you know, we never had any winds last night. It did rain just very lightly a couple of times. But all the water is really from condensation. And like I said, with having them flaps open at the end, you know, it did surprise us. So I'd hate to see what it was like, you know, if you did do both sides up, both flaps up. You know, it might be the fact the log burner, just move that off there. It might be the fact the log burner itself, you know, did warm it up, and obviously that meeting the cold air outside caused condensation. But really, you know, it's designed to have a log burner in. You know, and if that's the case, then the material needs to really be looked at again. So yeah, I won't say I'm unhappy, but I'm quite disappointed in it overall. But it does seem I've got more. Obviously Nick was sleeping this side. He's fairly dry, and I'm wondering if the air gap, which he seems to have on his side, which I've got a little, which I haven't got as much on my side, made a difference. So yeah, not sure about it. Give it a chance. Turn the camera around again. You know, I would go with tarp, definitely. You know, the tarp, I've never had any condensation, no build up of water or anything else. You know, so remains to be seen. But you know, with that, it is what it is. So I know I got up last night and it's quite cold, and it was going foggy outside, so obviously that's going to add to condensation. But it's quite a nice morning, the sun's coming out a little bit and starting to poke through in places, so I'm hoping it just come out a bit more. It just rained a little bit, just only for a couple of minutes, so I'm hoping that that's going to be it for the rain, and you know, I can get me sleeping bag out and get it dried. Just angle the camera up a bit more. So yeah, you see the sun rising over there now. Should be up round about up there later on. Like I say, I can get my sleeping bag out on the ridge line over there. Hopefully get it dried up for tonight. If not, you know, I will just ask if we pop back to mine, I'll meet my wife and just pick the main sleeping bag up. my Arctic one. I said, take this one back. And yeah, I've got up about 6 o'clock. I mean, considering really I didn't have a bad night's sleep. Nick's got a bad cold, so unfortunately made him a bit ill last night. Might have been the fire as well. He felt a bit sick, but overall, you know, I did get an half decent night's sleep, but I know I've had better night's sleep, you know, in my other sleeping bag, the original Arctic one. But yeah, just walking around the tent. You know, you can see how the rain is beading up on it. In places you can see small patches where it's soaking through a little bit, and there's one there as well. And that's not good. Now I could obviously proof it, but I shouldn't have to be proofing, you know, a brand new tent. So we'll just see how it goes. I mean, I did say to Nick earlier, now I'm tempted to put my tarp up, but of course the problem is I've got my ridge line going across there, which is from a normal tarp, which is holding this up. So I'll have to take that down and find a bit more paracord put across there. I don't know if we've got enough spare or not to do that. I'll have a look in a little bit, and I think, you know, if that is the issue, I might just put my tarp up across here and get in that tonight, which is a shame. You know, I got high expectancies of this tarp tent, but I certainly think it is more of a summer one, and the fact you've put a log burner in it, I do believe is, you know, more of a novelty you can add to it. You know, I don't think it's the right sort of material, personally speaking, for this. So just having a walk around the area, got a tree which is starting to come down here. It is a safe place away from us. It's protected by another tree, so if it did come down, it would fall the other side. But we just spoke to the landowner, and Nick's got his chainsaw with him, so he's going to fell that tomorrow morning, bring it down and actually make it safe for us. We've got quite a bit of wood over there, so when we've got a chainsaw, we're probably going to process quite a lot of this wood. It's a bit easier to just do it with a chainsaw, and then we can leave it under some trees round here to dry out and everything, which gives us some dry wood for the future. You know, when we come camping and everything else. So we're not sure actually where our other wood burner is, the one which stands outside, which was made of an old tumble dryer, and it was really good, and we did leave it under here, but it seems to have gone missing, which is a shame. Maybe maybe our friends borrowed it or whatever. I don't know. I'll ask later on. Like I say, it's a bit of a shame if somebody's taken that, and they shouldn't really be up here in any case because it is private land. Just have a look around here, see if I can see it. But no, it doesn't seem to be round here at all. But make another if we have to. But it is a shame if that's gone missing, because that really does get hot, and you know, it's provided some heat. I've put it up on several other videos before when we've had it running. It's been really good. Okay, so I'm just going to do a bit round here for now. So I've got sausage casserole I'm going to cook up later. I'm not sure whether I'm going to be using the Dutch oven or not. terms of temperature, it's probably 1 or 2 degrees. It's very damp. But you know, that dampness, that tent should really be protecting us from that, and it isn't. And I mean, Nick did say, I wonder if it's because 2 people slept in it. You know, it was a bit too much in terms of condensation. It could well be. But like I said, we both slept with our heads towards this open end. So really, that should have negated that. We'll see what happens. And go from there, really. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to start doing our sort of Christmas dinner. And it consists of sausages, some mashed potato, and some veg, oxo cubes, and some Tabasco sauce. So with the Dutch oven on top, it's Nick's Dutch oven. I've got one just next size down, but I'm just seasoning it at the moment, which means I'm going to clean out. It might look a little bit rusty on the outside, but it's alright on the inside. So I've cleaned it all out, and then I've just sprayed it round with a little bit of oil and just heating that up. And what that does, it seasons the Dutch oven. Now when that's done, as it warms up, because it takes quite a while to warm up, on top of the log burner I've got a little circular disc which you can remove so the heat gets directly onto the Dutch oven itself. I'll add a little bit of water, cut the sausages up, add the sausages, let them cook for a while. I look a couple of oxo cubes just to flavour them. And yeah, okay, it's sort of boiling the sausages, but obviously they will cook in there at the same time. You know, keep the lid on, it keeps it pressurised so they cook quite nicely. And then about halfway through cooking them, I'll add the veg, bit of Tabasco sauce, and then just to thicken it, add some instant mash to it. So it should make a nice meal. The oven's not going too bad at all, and the Dutch oven's starting to get a bit warmer. Like I say, top of the log burner there is a disc which you remove, so then the heat from the logs which are burning goes straight up onto the bottom of the Dutch oven. So all I'm doing now is just seasoning it on the Dutch oven. The thing to remember with Dutch ovens is, if possible, you always use wooden utensils, which I haven't got, but it's not a problem, just be careful. And they do need seasoning before you use them. The best way to season them, and I know Nick seasoned this several times, but is to get a rag, get some oil on it, put the oil in, wipe it all around the inside of the Dutch oven, and then pop it into an oven itself, and bake it off a little bit. And what it does, it seasons the cast iron, so it prolongs the life of the Dutch oven, stops things sticking to it, and it makes for better cooking later on. So the sun's come out a bit now as well, so I'm hoping that's going to dry my sleeping bag out. That's hanging out to dry at the moment. Go and have a look, see how that's getting on. Yeah, you can see it just hanging up over here. So I just hung it over a tree, and hopefully, yeah, it's starting to dry, that's good. And that should be dry for tonight. And like I said, tonight what I will do is put it inside a bivvy bag to keep the damp off. And you can see on the tent, stands out a little bit more now, but as you can see towards the top end over the corner there, you might be able to just make it out. There's a clearer patch, you've got the chimney just going up there, and that's where I got the Dutch oven, so it's drying the tent out nicely. But like I say, the problem is the material leaves something to be desired, because you can see, if I just come around here, might be a bit easier to see, because I've got the oven down that end, you can see the dry patches coming as the tent's drying out, but the rest of this is really saturated through. So the thing I'm going to have to do with this is probably get some Nicky wax or a silicone solution and cover it. Obviously you've got to be careful, because with it being a hot tent, it's designed for a log burner, but really these droplets of rain need to be running off like it does with my tarp. You know, I've shaken this down several times and it hasn't really got rid of the water, but you can see how the water is absorbing into the material, which isn't ideal at all. My personal thoughts on this, although I'm no sort of expert, is to say the material should be released at the minimum of 5,000 hydrostatic head, probably going on something like 6,000 to 8,000 at least. And I know that can cause condensation itself, but I think the condensation in this has been caused by the water just literally seeping through the material itself. So not ideal. So if you're considering getting one of these, obviously proofing it is a bit of a must, I would say, more than anything else. So I got my sleeping bag out, just to go through a bit of kit which I've got while this is heating up. You can see the log burner going nicely now. So I've got the log burner, which is the backpack one. Good little log burners. The chimney and everything fits inside the log burner when it's not in use. It does throw out a nice bit of heat. You just control it. At the bottom there, there's a little air intake where you can turn it down, so when it starts flaming up you just turn it down a bit. Stops as much air getting in, so it keeps your logs burning longer. We've got some logs just going around the outside there, which have been drying out. Again, just be careful they don't touch, because they will catch fire. Got my electronics bag down there, which is a bum bag. Got my electronics in it. Keeps it nice and dry and warm. So I've got the closed cell British Army sleeping mat, which are fantastic. They're obviously waterproof, but you can feel the warmth generate back up through them when you get on them. So they are really, really good, and I prefer these to air mattresses, because the problem you got with an air mattress is, one, the way they're made, and have they got the structure inside to keep places nice and warm, you know, as you heat them up, or does the air circulate around inside, meaning any warm patches just move around. And of course you've got a problem with puncturing. This could just go on the ground and be fine. And underneath there I bought this. It's the light AF, the very light foam, and that's got an RV value of about 1, so not much in terms of heat for it, but certainly what that does is, I found with the cot bed, your mat can slip off to your side. You turn over and it slips. That holds it in place. It never moved anywhere last night, so that worked really well. Just got things lying around at the moment. Hat, new 65 litre Osprey Rock. Such a comfortable backpack. I've always liked Osprey, and I've had an Osprey Talon 22. I'll put a picture up as the videos go, as I edit the video. I've had that for about 15, maybe 20 years, and it's as good as the day I got it. But I did recently again a deal for Black Friday. Got myself the 28 litre, and you know, that I've worn several times when I've been out dog walking, and honestly you don't notice you got them on. It's got the airspace flotation system on the back of them, and you know they work really well and it does fit. I've then got the outdoor pillar up there and the typical stuff. I've got just as a food bag down here, just to make life easier, I've got an old respirator pouch, British Army one, a black one. I'll just put the food in there just because it's simpler to keep it all in one place all together, and I can carry that. It's on a strap. You can just go around my neck or whatever, and I just carry it in. I could fit it all into the backpack, but obviously I've got eggs and stuff like that, so I want to carry them separate so they don't get broken and crushed or whatever. And I've got water bottle down there. I bought a new 1.5 litre metal water bottle. I do prefer the metal water bottles because the thing is, if you are ever stuck, it becomes a container you can get onto a fire and heat it up, and you've got hot water, and of course you can use it then, wrap something like a shemag around it or whatever else, and it could be a hot water bottle at night time. So good kit. And I've got my typical kit which I always carry. I've got a little survival tin, and in there I've got things like water purification tablets, lighter, fire steel, needles, bit of fishing line, some hooks, little compass, a little torch in there, all in one tin. And it always becomes pretty personal what you put into survival tins. It's what you're used to using. So I've got just enough kit in it to keep me going. I've got a wire saw, a bit of wire to make snares with. So it is literally a survival tin to get you out of a situation if you do become stuck. And inside there, and then inside another bag in my rucksack, I've got spare socks, got some sealskin socks, mainly merino wool. I've got another base layer, so should I get damp I can change my base layer before getting into bed, so stay nice and warm. Little wash kit, some talcum powder just so I can dust my feet at night time, because that helps keep your feet warm. Obviously got paracord. I've got a bigger knife with me, I've got an axe, and I've got a saw. But like I say, it all fits into the Osprey backpack fine, along with the big thicker sleeping bag, which is probably a bit bigger than my normal Arctic one, and that fitted in fine. So I know my normal Arctic one, which I carry most times, being a bit warmer, a bit snug, I personally feel will fit in just as well. And I've got my gaiters, obviously my little cooking kit, my Highlander jet boil system, which is really good, you know, fast and everything else. And like I say, I did bring my other tarp with me just in case, but I didn't really want to set that up because I'm one of these people, call me lazy or whatever, you know, I hate it when you're going to pack up and you've got 2 loads of wet kit to pack up and take home, lug home or whatever. And I always hate packing up. It's the worst part of camping, I always think. So I'm avoiding trying to get that out. Well, I say tonight, I have got a bivvy bag with me, which I always carry with me, a little OAX bivvy bag. I'll show you that later. I'll put my sleeping bag inside that, so you know this condensation doesn't affect me in the night. I stay warm, I stay dry at least. Also in my bag I had this thermal jacket which I've got on at the moment. Show you that. Only a cheap one, but it does keep you warm, and last night I put it on and kept me sound nice and warm. I've got my waterproof jacket, which is a regatta one, and I've also got my soft shell jacket down there, which again is fine. So you know I've got everything I need. Can carry it all in, can carry it all out. The only thing which I don't carry with me, I do leave at my friend's house is my X-bed, which I personally need, just to help me, you know, with balance issues and everything else. I can sit up and get myself sorted, so if I need to get up in the middle of the night, you know, I can get up easily and everything else. So that is something that I don't carry in. Also, obviously the log burner comes in a separate box. It's quite heavy, and my wife usually helps me just bring that in. And obviously I will be taking home with me. So that's basically all the kit I've got. It all works for me, you know. I like the minimum amount of kit. So I've got it all stored underneath there at the moment. I should really be packing most of it away out the way, but at the moment, you know, a few things are a little bit damp, so I'm just leaving them out to dry and air a little bit. But yeah, the tent inside's now drying out nicely. And as you can see, we've got the sun coming through, which is drying things as well. And obviously with having the log burner on, that's drying the inside. So, you know, maybe this tent is designed to be used with a log burner to keep the condensation away, sort of thing. I don't know, but yeah, I feel a little bit let down by the OneTigres, unfortunately. I mean, shape-wise and everything, you know, it's a really good tent. There's plenty of room in it, you know, and it's nicely designed. I just think it could have done with that bit better material on it, really. Either that or, you know, you keep your log fire going all night. Yeah, so there's tonight's tea in. I say, if you move that, you can see there, got a hole in. Oh, that's heavy. Put it back up there, and that allows it to heat up. Keeps it going, and because you can feed it from there as well. So use some sausages up. I'll keep them nice and clean because I'll take them home with me, and I'll just feed the fire now and keep it going. It's going to take a good couple of hours, and it's just started spitting with rain again. My sleeping bag's not completely dried out, but it's obviously not going to get very dry if it's getting rained on. So I've just had to bring in, and hopefully it'll dry out a little bit in here now, so I could try that. So just a case of vegging out now, and letting this cook. I'll say take a good couple of hours, so I'll be back in a little bit then. Okay, so the following morning we had to pack up quite early-ish because my son Nick, he'd got a couple of quotes to do. You know, he runs his own business part-time as a tree surgeon now, and he got a couple of quotes to do fairly locally, so we wanted to get packed up and get away so we could go and do those. But overall, I mean, we enjoyed the weekend, we always do. But I think, you know, it was a bit disappointing in terms of kit, especially the OneTigres tent itself, you know, with the condensation in the water, the fabric just getting soaked through. You know, you don't expect that off a new tent. Now, there may be some solutions out there, you know, maybe it is designed for a log fire to be going all night, which, again, isn't all that practical in most cases. You know, you get a log fire going, it gets your tent warmed up inside, and then you just let it die right the way down. So it goes out a few hours later. But obviously to warm the tent, it will mean you've got to have all the flaps closed. And I mean, we had both flaps open. Now on the second night, we had both sides open. And admittedly in the morning, we got very little condensation inside, which is fine. But as you know, Nick said, well, it defeats the object. You might as well just use a tarp in the first place, which, you know, I had to agree with. The other problem I had with it is the loops which hold the flaps back, and also the cover for the jack for the hot fire, for the log fire, they're very loose. You know, they're too long, very loose. And I did have an accident where, you know, there was no wind really, it was just a little bit of a gentle breeze now and then, but just enough breeze, it just buffeted the tent just very, very slightly. And the side which I got my log fire, the flap in that worked its way loose and just folded down. And of course it touched the log fire and it instantly, within a second, burnt the, or melted the fabric. So, you know, I was considering I was going to send this back to get a refund on it through Amazon if I could. But obviously I don't think I'll be able to do that now. And we're also worried, you know, about the cover which goes over the log fire, the Teflon piece, to keep it waterproof if you haven't got log fire in there. That's very, very loose, and you roll it up and you can't get it any tighter because of the way it is. But very often we have to keep going around checking out by the side of the chimney to make sure it just hadn't unrolled itself and was touching the chimney and melting it. So another issue with it really. But like I say, overall, it didn't ruin, you know, our Christmas camp. We enjoyed it. We had a good time. We had a good laugh and a joke. Sorry I didn't get much more videoing done, but, you know, one thing and another. But we had a nice warm meal. You know, the sausage casserole turned out great. You know, my log fire went really well, and to cook something like that on with cast iron Dutch oven, you know, turned out brilliant. So overall, you know, quite a good camp. Just disappointed, you know, with a bit of kit, like I say, the tent, and also the modular cold weather sleeping bag. You know, I found it's probably too big, and like I say, it is designed so that the smaller 3-season sleeping bag goes inside it to give you extra warmth, and it's meant to go down to a minus 32 then. But I did feel cold in it, which is not like me. I normally get, you know, and my wife did bring my other Arctic sleeping bag out, and I put that in the OEX bivvy bag. I've got a full Gore-Tex bivvy bag X-Army, which is fantastic. It's just a bit heavy to carry. My OEX folds up nice and small. I mean, that worked really well, and I did get up next morning. I was completely dry, but, you know, I could feel a difference. Once I got into my original Arctic sleeping bag, I felt the warmth coming round my body straight away, you know, compared to the modular one. So 2 lessons learned, and this is what it's all about, you know, a bit of trial and error while you're out there. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to get some new videos done for next year, and, you know, just leaves me to say I hope you all have a great Christmas and a happy New Year, and I shall be seeing you in the new year. Take care and have a good one.